Hello, everyone. Mike Arnold here, co-founder of Path Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacchino. By the way, if you are new here, please do consider subscribing, ring that bell, and hitting the like button. Longer-term subscribers and viewers, please do like some videos and leave comments. It would be much appreciated. Okay, sector overview time. Going into quarter end and month end. Last week in March coming up. Then April starts. So XLF, the financial sector. Actually, wrong one. I'm starting on XLE. I thought that was a little weird. Energy, still strong rotation up. Still in massive bullish mode. Keeping an eye. We do have a potential double top here. Keeping an eye. So that's the only negative. But that would not take it out of bullish mode. We just start watching for the bigger correction. So if you start coming back down, especially if the sector breaks below, you can see it would definitely not take it out of bullish mode, but just return it to a larger pullback area, and we'd watch for new entries in the energy sector. Other than that, it's staying super strong. You can see here it is on that daily. You can see here that wouldn't even take it back to the 200. So that's what we're watching in there. Otherwise, the plays in energy are still going strong. By the way, if you're watching this, if you do take out the highs, the next levels are 82.08, then major cluster 83.90. Real estate, still in bullish mode, inside week compared to last week. Stalling out at the 200 daily. This is getting flatter, and real estate's getting interesting. Now, if interest rates do bounce, you might get a strong movement up or a partial movement up in the sector. Otherwise, it's not my favorite sector to play right now, even though it is hanging on to bullish mode. If it does get above about 47.60 with some momentum, I'll look for more real estate plays, but I'm going to keep a close eye on at least mortgage rates that have popped up over a full percent in the last few weeks. So that's going to put a little dampen on real estate markets and inflation with some home builders. So we have to see. I have to get some really good price action before I'm interested in that. Now we get XLF is still in bullish mode right now. So next run major area I'm watching is about 40.72. We can actually put on the retracements on this little sell-off, and it is closing above the 62.5, so I am expecting this to make a run to about 40. The first key area is 40.72, but I'll be watching for about 40.93 to 41.70. Statistically, if we close above the 62.5, that's where it should retest. Looking at on the daily, we're back above the 200. We do have a little potential double top here. So that's the only thing I will monitor, because if that were to trigger, it could take it back below the 200, and that would just be a pullback. If we had that happen, though, it would still remain in bullish mode. So financial plays, I'm a little picky because I don't want things like Citigroup that are exposed to a lot of stuff with Russia, especially with the ongoing conflict and all the sanctions. So just be picky. I mean, if you find some strong regional banks, especially with the Fed hiking, it could be interesting plays there. XLK technology back above the declining trend line, which is the fail-safe line. So what's interesting enough, we were tracking this head and shoulders, and that is now off the table based off of this price action. So technology, a lot of stuff's been moving back into technology. What's interesting is a lot of stuff's been moving back into unprofitable technology. So that's my hesitation there. We do have the first cross rotation zone. It's back above the 200. I'll be watching if it starts dropping below 152.90. Not interested in some technology plays. There are some things, though, like I know Amazon's more of a conglomerate, but a lot of people trade it like a technology stock, and there could be an interesting play in Amazon coming up this week, and technology with the mega caps like Apple. And you have things like Nvidia and Tesla. even though I think Tesla's still a car company, but it's viewed as a technology play. And if those continue higher, it could make a move up. But if we get a rollover, and then I'm a little cautious with this still. And this could, with some downward momentum, tip back into a sell signal at any point. So if we start getting downward pressure in the NASDAQ and we rotate back out of a lot of these mega caps and growth stocks, which have been the rotation back in, then I will get very cautious on technology. I'm very picky with the plays in that sector right now. XLI, the industrial sector, in bullish mode. So this is staying in bullish mode. Nothing really to look at back above the 200. There's no real topping pattern yet here. Major support coming in right around 101, 101.25. So even on a pullback, I'll watch for another strong rotation back up. If it can't even pull back there, then the next minor area on a little pullback is right around this 102.85 area. You can see that's where it rotated up on Friday, and it is going into this advanced clear path move, so we could easily see a continued push higher. If we look at our key retracement levels, we are back above the 62.5 on the daily, and the weekly closes above there, so we do favor a return to about 106 to 107.50. XLY, consumer discretionary, is back in bullish mode, just barely by the core definition. By my alternate rule sets, it would not be until it closes above 186.62, which is the way I'm playing this. A core rule set is, alternate rule set is not. So I am very cautious with consumer discretionary. What's interesting is we do have this, it was a triple bottom on the daily, double bottom on the weekly. So that's why I'm also concerned with this could roll over at any time. But the next levels up are 188.70, 190.23, 197.77. Again, if it's anything in the consumer discretionary sector, it has to be having major outperformance, and it has to be a strong fundamental play. Otherwise, I am not touching it at this point. XLP, consumer staples, in bullish mode. So let's just see where we sit with this in bullish mode. I still need to get really bullish again above 75.62 on a weekly closing basis. Oops, wrong one. I wanted to click on here. We're back above the 200 clearly. We're getting the first cross of rotation zone again. We have a little bit left on a clear path trading into against this trend line. So this is the key area I'm watching, is this trend line. And then if we can get through that, there's a stall out point. This is the problem. There's some stall out points about 76 area. So I'm still a bit cautious after that pretty big sell-off, but money's rotating back into consumer staples. So a good consumer staple play is still on the table. I don't want to see it get below 74 bucks again. Then we could easily make a run at 72, and then I will hold off unless something's a really strong play in that sector. XLV Healthcare, again, it's triggered this double little pullback here to retest the breakout area from this double bottom. And so that's where that sits. But long term, it's rotating back up. You can see the daily rotation zone. You can see the double here. This is not down enough for a triple. And moving back to the rotation zone, retesting the prior resistance, becoming support, and rotating back up. I will get more aggressively bullish when we start getting above 137.07. Then I'm targeting 139.23, 141.62. And there are some good long-term healthcare plays out there. So that is definitely a sector to watch for some really good plays set up, especially on pullbacks. XLB, Material Select. So this has bounced back up very nicely, and there are strong plays also in this sector. So I'm just watching for anything on pullbacks. Key pullback area at this point for me is right around 87.20. So back there, that's when, if this sector starts pulling back, I'll start watching for pullbacks in very strong stocks in the Material Select sector. So that's how we're looking to do that. I'm not going to chase it right here, watching for at least a day or two pullback, and then going to rescan that sector for plays. XLC, Communications, again, in bearish mode, but looking for a bounce. Some money's been rotating in. Again, these would only be very short-term plays for me, and only on major outperformance. Has to make a massive run to get back into bullish mode. So this is something I'm going to watch to tip over again. Once it gets below 67.50, not interested in anything anymore. That's right around here. If it can't hold this level, then I'm thinking it will make a run back to and form a triple bottom. But to the upside, if you're playing at home, 71.27, 72.47, 73.67, there's still a major gap in here. And that doesn't, again, take it back to longer term bullish. These would be for bounces and rollover plays. I'm more interested in looking for anything in the communication sector that bounces up against key resistance, and then for some short plays. So plays back to the downside. XLU utilities, again, strong break the upside, hitting our first harmonic. There is definitely more room to run up here. And you see it's broken above the key resistance area. So we tried to get above it, pulled back, got back above it. Never's been in bearish mode though, so we'll keep an eye. So there's still some really good potential utilities plays, and this double did not trigger, and you see a triple, and now is continuing on. So utility plays are definitely very viable on pullbacks. XRT, the retail ETF, is still in bearish mode, looks to be rolling over again. Daily is in consolidation, so I'm just watching. If this starts breaking down really below, right around about 77, I will be looking for more short plays in the retail ETF sector. So anything that falls into the retail category and is especially weak, watching for bearish plays on that. Not bullish at all in this sector. IYT, transportation, again, still in bullish mode, up against key resistance. Looking more for this, not going to chase it right here, stalling out. If it starts breaking above 270.50, I'll get a little more aggressive with stuff in the transportation sector. Until that, I will be watching for a pullback more so towards the 262 area, 261.50, 262, right in there. I don't really want to break much below this because that will have lost the 200-day, and I will watch for a retest of lower prices, and then my hands will be off looking for stuff in the transportation sector. Commodities still very, very bullish. We might be forming a short-term topping pattern in here. I am still bullish, and you got to just be picky. I would not chase anything that's overextended right now in the commodity sector. Now, there are things that we trade around the core position like metals and some other things in this sector. I mean, even uranium falls in this, which is a great little trade around the core position play. But I'm starting to get cautious and very picky because we could see a slight rollover and a larger pullback, especially if it starts dropping back below about 25.75. The agriculture aspect of this, also, we have a potential double top. That would be only on a short-term close below 221.35. Then this would still be in bullish mode. I'm just watching for some bigger, longer-term pullback plays in DBA. Okay, because that would also take it back below the rotation zone, and it hasn't been able. This is struggling to get back up and running out of momentum. So again, still very bullish, but getting pickier on this, and would rather to see some pullbacks and then reestablish positions after a pullback in both commodities and agriculturally focused commodities, especially. We're going into more and more of the spring planting season now. If there are problems with that, then I will start getting much more aggressive in anything to do with specifically the grains like beans and corn. So that's where we sit with that. Again, this is our quick little weekend sector overview. Most things are still in bullish mode. I'll let you know what I was being picky about and what things I was watching for rollover plays like communications. Even if we continue another little pop higher, there could be some good short plays to the downside setting up. With that, I will talk to everyone later. Bye for now.